So this concern about relationship in campus, it is the key major factor that affects the emotional growth of the youths. It happens where we normally have this simple thing called "come we stay." Yeah. At the same time, I can classify it as it has got positive impact and at the same time negative impact. The positive impact that it has is that it tries to develop someone, and it is introducing one to real life situations where we are heading to. Yes. So one becomes familiar with factors like being a parent, or at the same time you are learning how you can introduce yourself to what? To real life situation where you are now heading to be a man or a woman. At the same time, if you look at it keenly, when we involve in these things, there are a number of factors that we need to consider that brings us tension in terms of what? The existence between the two parties. And these things like sustaining life, things that sustain life. You find yourself in a situation where you cannot maybe provide one too that sustains your life. You will end up facing different what? Different emotionals that will at long last do what? Hinder you. So these things at the same time we need to, they encourage us to learn where we are heading to. At the same time, they have different impacts in such a way that if you will not be capable of doing such a things, you will end up in what? In heartbreak. Or rather, which term can I use? That is a bit simple. I think that one is well being understandable a bit. Yeah. Is it so? Yeah, sure. Yeah, something of that kind. And then part of it that I wanted to focus on as one of the causes of emotional instabilities that youths normally experience is this thing that we call the emotional outburst, where we can classify into three. We have hunger, we can talk about shutdown, we can talk about when I say shutdown. So this thing called hunger, you normally understand the situations that stammerers normally undergoes, right? A stammerer can talk at the point where he or she starts stammering, and then she becomes annoyed. And do what? And that one is going to develop what we call as hunger. Okay, it's going to be annoyed. And how can we control this? That one deals with emotion. How can we control this? At the same time, we talk about shutdown, a position where maybe you are invited for a given talk. It is an open forum. You find that you yourself, you cannot involve in that. The reason behind it is that maybe you lack confidence, or deep down, you may not find something to do what? To talk about. So how can we express this? As we continue with our studies, we normally have a friend here called Invan brought something called Poyol that was building legacy building leaders. Yeah. That thing, we find that it was bringing up people to develop confidence in such a way that if they find themselves in a congregation, they can easily do what? Express whatever they have. Okay? So we can involve our fellows and communicate with them in such a way that we practice communication and we practice what? Involving each and everyone once that way. And then you will find that at long last, one member will be capable in involving in all these activities without any difficulties. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So I want us to continue like this in the same direction. We've seen that the challenge is anger that is maybe coming from relationships and maybe how we talk to each other when we are in relationships. So having a relationship is not a problem. The problem is how we handle this relationship, how we talk to each other, how we conduct our things, and how we manage everything. That's the main problem. Because according to how we've given the solution is talk to someone very well, understand the other person, and then everything becomes what? Okay. Because me, actually, there's one day when I was being asked that to have a girlfriend. And then I asked that person, when do you think my grandmother was married? My grandmother was married when she was 12 years. You see? So those people were marrying at very early age. And that is something that is there from generation to generation. But now because of maybe factors like education, we have to squeeze it. And now it is interfering with our because emotions zikifika ile time unafaa kupata hiyo kitu. Lazima upate. Unaona? Lazima uipate. Lakini so if this thing is going to limit you, how are you going to manage it? That's the biggest thing that you're not supposed to do or to handle or to know. Yeah. So okay, let me not take much time. We also have other things that maybe are causing this emotional instability or emotional, yeah. So if you have any other point also that makes us feel emotional, have emotional challenges, you can contribute.
Okay. Yes, I want to say something. You know, if you are dealing with emotional challenge, this is not just a mere thing,
Yeah.
but it is a poison killing most of this from the self. You have to know first thing that causes it. It is from the self. Emotionally, first you have to realize, if you want to deal with emotion, you have to realize you yourself. What are the things that brings for you these bad emotions that will make you do what? That will make you fail. If you are speaking about the relationship, about love, you know, many people just get into the relationship just because of what? Trying to satisfy self. What do I mean satisfying self? You know, as youth, we are young. And being young, in that we have much energy and much time to do things. Now we find ourselves having that feeling to do something. And that feeling is what will bring you what? Into a relationship. And you come into this relationship before realizing yourself who you are. After getting into this relationship, you want to satisfy this self. What has brought you into this relationship? While your partner has another self. He or she has what he or she want to satisfy herself. Now you find you people have two different what? Two different aims. You want to satisfy your aim, the other person want to satisfy his or her aim. You won't go. One person has to do what? Has to fail. And this is what will bring what? About emotion in what? In a relationship. If you find you two both parties have the same aim or the same what? The same what you aim to. Sindio? If you both people have this same nini now, after all you've been satisfied now, you find yourself doing what? Departing, or you find yourself feeling this emotion, bad emotions after living with what? Living each other. I don't want to speak more about that one. Now, another thing in this relationship is one want to satisfy the other. And this one brings us to another cause of what? Emotion affecting youth. I want to satisfy my partner. I want to buy for her something that is important. I don't have money. And that is what? This is poverty. And this poverty is another cause of what? Emotion. Emotional challenge. I want to satisfy my partner. I don't have money. Now poverty is another cause of what? Our emotions. Now how can we deal with these things? I've now stated these things. First, we have what we call self-awareness.
Yes.
Be aware of yourself. I want to get into a relationship. I know when my partner do this or this, I will do what? I will be emotionally done what? Disturbed. Now after being aware of self, you come, I want to deal again with poverty. I want to satisfy my partner. Or I know one of the emotions, one of the challenges that faces youth is what? Poverty. There are no jobs. There are no places to go. I'm idle. I need money. I need to eat. Now this is poverty. Now after realizing yourself, self-awareness, Now you find what you can do to get something to earn or to get money. There are many things really affecting youth emotionally, and we need to realize it. Now, as youths, first be aware of yourself, and that is one of the solutions that I can bring on board. I don't know if someone need to add something. Yes, my brother.
Add something according to the developing of self-awareness. You should, you should be aware of the emotion. That emotion that you are overcoming.
Yes.
What has caused it? Is it a relationship situation, or is it a health situation? Because you can become sick, and emotionally you are unwell also. Mm. So you should be aware of what causes it and how to trigger it. Because once you have the feeling, once you are aware of what has caused it, you can know how to circulate it. According to the recognizing your emotion trigger, it's according to thoughts or people that tend to trigger strong emotional responses. Understanding these triggers can help you to manage your reaction, how you react. Once you're aware of yourself, you know how to react with others. Yeah, that's what I can add.
Okay, I was forgetting something. Actually, statistics states that in the old past days and in the modern days, you find that it's now the youth that die more than the old, as you consider to the past. Now this is one of the causes of this. What are one of the causes of this death? It is all about what? It is all about emotions. Now when you look about the past, things were being done in order, things were being done carefully and in everything. Nowadays youth are just like, let me say in quote, wamejiachilia, like let the world be. You know, that's one of what brings us down. And when we come and realize this thing, now we youths will be done what? Will be saved. Yes.
So before we can maybe end, because we know this is a very wide topic and we can talk about it the whole day. Our ladies will not say anything. Kama nyinyi mko sawa, hakuna kitu inawagusa hapa. This emotion. What? Well, you need a lawyer to talk. Okay.
I want to say something.
Say something, please.
I want to say something. As a lady now, this thing we call peer pressure, lack of contentment, na hiyo financial constraint. Unajua msichana unafaa kujirembesha. Kuna kujirembesha. Sasa mimi sina ile nguo. I don't have that clothes. Who will buy for me? You will be idle. Utaona umeachwa, you are isolated. Sasa hiyo italeta stress. You will be stressed up. Sasa hiyo italeta nini? Labda unaweza jinyonga hata kwa nini. Sasa hiyo ni shida. And then lack of contentment. Rafiki yangu. This man do to her this. Her man do to her this. What of mine? Ama akona hizi vitu na mimi sina. What will be the result? Hiyo itakuwa ni stress nyingine. And then peer pressure. Peer pressure now is the main thing. Peer pressure is the main thing. People are going out. Like we ladies, we like going out. Outing. Mimi niko na baba. Akona gari. Sponsor. Na mimi mwingine ana, mimi niko na. How will the other person feel or be? Sasa hiyo ni emotional torture to the other party. Otherwise, as we are going to continue talking, we'll be adding more things.
Yes, there's a certain solution that we may talk about what my sister here has mentioned. This issue of peer pressure, it normally affects people, by the way. If you look at it keenly, deep down, you'll find that it is true, by the way. Nowadays, people normally used to compare themselves with the other fellows.
Yeah.
And that normally affects especially the lifestyle and the lifeline of the what? Of the youth. You find that you come from the background which is humble and the other person come from the different background. That is where we normally have the differentiation. Get it? That is where we normally have the differentiation. And what we need to do in mind that the youth should always focus on, it is what we each and everyone is looking for. You came all along from, like for example, I came all along from California, right?
Yes.
I'm coming to meet you, the guy who came from UG, Uganda, right? Where you came from is totally different from where I came from. Is it so?
Yeah.
The experience that I'm going to have is totally different from what you are going to experience. So if you go start comparing yourself with me, you are going to lose. It's to focus on what we are aiming to. Especially we focus beyond achieving what? Our objectives. But if you start comparing that, I came all along from California with my helicopter, and you came all along from UG, kwa mguu. Is it bringing some sense? You'll start, like for example, let me put it clearly on ladies. It normally affects ladies. And then deep down, if you look at this, you are calling them sponios. Whichever case it is, okay? Sponio. So this one is having sponio, this one is not having. The sponio she's having maybe has a lot of money, right? And she must be spoiled. And the other fellow is going to develop what? Jealousy.
Yeah.
My friend there is having such a vision. My friend there also is having such a vision. She will end up starting looking for sponio, right?
Yeah.
And the sponio she's going to look for will be totally different from the sponio she's having.
Yeah.
She may experience negative impact in her life. Like to her, hers may be different. But where they are heading to, you cannot tell me that sponio will at long last end you somewhere. Is it so? Let's take it for example. Does it normally work? If you look at it keenly, does it normally work? Then it is something that normally comes for a period. For a period, it comes seasonally, it comes and goes. Meaning they come with a mission. After fulfilling the mission, once the mission is accomplished, what next is done? What next is done? you are left hanging. Is it so? And then you start from where you left it from. So what we need to do as youths, it is only that focusing towards what? Towards our achievement. What we are looking for is what we should look for. And then we need to understand the differentiation that exists between our fellows. All people are not equal. I think that is dedicated even in what? In the Bible. These fingers are not equal, though these of mine are somehow equal because of the nails. But they cannot be equal at long last, okay? So each and everyone should run up towards what? Achieving his or her mission. Only that.
Oh.
It is like you have something to add more. Okay?
Let
Let it not be contradicting what I'm saying.
I'm not contradicting your point. I want to say this issue of trying to be someone who is not you. You want to be someone who is not you. Do you understand?
You are faking life.
You are faking life. Wewe umekuja, for example, umekuja campus, umepata mtu anavaa kitu wa quarter. You want to wear that. Ama someone is wearing expensive things. You want to wear that. Sasa kujifanya kuwa mtu sio wewe. Hiyo ni emotional torture. And then family background ama parental care. Kuna wazazi wakali. For example, my parent. Ni mkali,
I like
Sasa
it.
mimi, by the way, from kitambo sikuwa naweza ongea mbele ya watu. I could not talk in front of people. Why? Because that ukali at home. How will you express yourself in front of your dad or your mom? Ukitaka kusema kitu hivi.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Go to the kitchen.
So, family pia may lead to that. They may, for example, you have an issue, you can't express it. You can't express this to them. How? Watakuuliza it ilikuwaje? How did this happen? So that one is also another cause of emotional torture among youths.
I like that. we are also, we are soon becoming parents. Or you are yet a parent. You are a parent, okay? So once you reach at that level, my friend, you allow your kid at least to express themselves. That one also builds a confidence to them. Once they are exposed, they cannot have any problem in terms of expressing themselves to people.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Now-
think we normally learn from all these things that we are discussing here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, just to add on top there, if you compare the ratio at which many youths are dying compared to the older people, so nowadays so many youths are going, my friend. We are going, yet we are going, yet we have not achieved our main goals in lives, because of that depression that we have built in ourselves. My sister Nevia talked about the you want to behave like you are equal to another person who is at least ako kiwango chake, and the brother talked about the level of our fingers here. They are not the same. That is the main thing that is going to destroy us, even as today here in campus. What I want to add is just let us majorly concentrate with our lives. If you know your capability, my sister, just concentrate with what you are able to achieve. Don't compare yourself with the other, because you are going to die out of depression, isn't it? Yes. That is what actually affecting most of the youth. Now let us concentrate on our matter self, focus with what we want to achieve, never compare yourself with others. I hope that one to my level.
Okay, maybe if we are going to close, anyone who has any summary of anything you want to say? Yes.
How to deal with our emotions is by accepting your emotions. By accepting your emotion is to allow yourself to feel. Don't try to ignore ati au feel hauna feeling. Kila mtu akona feelings. Huwezi sema ati hauna feeling. So hiyo kuignore is a very much bad idea. So what we can do is by practicing self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge that everyone experience a range of problems and emotions. So by that, you challenge yourself by negative self-talk. By that, you replace critical or negative thoughts with more positive and realistic ones. Unajiongelesha, unasema nikifanya hii madhara itakuwa ni gani? Unaona? By talking to yourself. Before you pull that trigger, you ask yourself, nikipull, sitaenda je? Sitaekwa ndani.
Yeah.
Na nikishaekwa ndani, si watu wenye kuni Mungu si watasafa. Sitakuwa umeridhia kila mtu. So you should accept your emotion, talk to yourself before you do something like that.
Okay, thank you very much. So maybe as we will be concluding what you've discussed today, we've highlighted main points. You've seen that everyone, so long as you're a youth, you must have a challenge, and those challenges are there.
Yes.
So it's upon us to decide or to work out on how we are going to manage these challenges. And what we've said is this: if it's a matter of relationship, know how you talk, know how you manage your things, and be contented. If it's a matter of families, also be contented. Don't live your life. Live your life and live it full and live it smart. Don't live the life of others. That's what brings about the aspect of contentment. And then everything that maybe regards emotion, if it's to an extent that you can't manage, you can seek therapy, so you can talk to your friends, you can talk to anyone who is close to you. That brings us to the aspect of even having good friends with you. So these friends will help you with all chance. So as we conclude, we want to say this to the fans and everyone out there: subscribe to Gwira Gwira. This is our world. This is where we develop all kind of talents, and each and everyone you are